We're live.
All right. I want to first of all, my name is Lisa Davis. I am the Vice Chair of the Black is Back Coalition for Social Justice, Peace, and Reparations. I'm also a proud member also of NPDOM, the Uhuru movement, and I work with the Hands Off Uhuru Coalition. And I want to first of all just thank everyone for being out here for your time. We don't take that for granted at all because we know the days that we are living in which things continue to escalate. And we know that many of you are juggling 3 and 4 things. There's an active genocide going on. There's covert genocides, overt genocides, one happening right on live stream, being live streamed right in front of our faces for 10 months. Not to mention the ones we don't know about, and not to mention exactly the crimes and everything that has been happening here, which is one of the reasons why we're here, because of the assault on the Black liberation struggle via the attack on Omali Yeshitela, and this was in 2022. But before I start, I just want to say that this is a program that's being sponsored by New Jersey and New York. I want to call up some of my comrades in New York, NP Down, Brother Rafiq, Brother Malik, and we come over here. Just want to say, we work quite a bit together. We're always calling each other up. I'm like, I'm gonna be in New York. What can y'all help? So I just want people to know my brothers, Rafiq and Brother Malik, NP down in New York, and this is the joint effort. Uhuru. We got.
Want to express appreciation for the invitation and allowing us to be here. And it's just about solidarity. It's about being behind the chairman. In my own personal experience, I speak more just myself. He helped to transform me from an angry Negro to a revolutionary because of the depth of the theory. I mean, there's no other theory out there like that. And I have to, express profound appreciation to the chairman for building that and bringing it to what it is, and so on and so forth. Having it so we can move in terms of overturning the relationship that exists between us and white power and becoming self-determined. So I mean, I'm just glad to be. I'm glad for and I'm down with the chairman to the fullest.
Next time, you can get.
All I want to say is that, like Charles Barron said at the International African Arts Festival, that Chairman Omali is the leading theorist in the world today. He's also the person that gave me life, gave me an understanding of the world, changed my entire worldview. And it is, the sky is the limit if they try to put their hands on Chairman Omali Yeshitela. We won't allow him to be, given this type of sentence. We won't allow him to be abused by the state. Like I said, this man gave all of us life, and we say hands off Uhuru and hands off Africa. Uhuru.
Yeah.
I just want to say that in regards to the charges and so on and so forth, I don't have any inside scoop, but I'm optimistic. They don't have anything on them. They don't have any new tricks. This is just some garbage, that they, trying to pull. And, they do what they do, but they don't have any new tricks up there. All this crap, they just rehashing the stuff that they've been trying to do for years and years. And we're not gonna let them, we're not gonna let them do this.
Exactly. Exactly. And as this is an anti-colonialist movement, we recognize too the struggle that so many of our comrades and our other brothers and sisters are going through, like in Palestine, Congo, the Sudan, Cuba. We say free all political prisoners as well. These are the things that Omali Yeshitela and the Uhuru movement have been about for the longest time, And they were viciously attacked on July 29. Let me also just 2022, when they escalated things, and now we see that the First Amendment is on the line. I also just want to say it's a little difficult for me to, because I'm looking here and out of my own screen, but do we have Brother Emmanuel on? He is with the African People Socialist Party Northern Regional Leadership. I just want to also acknowledge him as well. Again, these are my comrades, my brothers in the struggle. We support each other. I call them up all the time. Brother Emmanuel.
Uhuru Comrade, Sister Lisa Davis, and the New York forces on the ground. I'd like to, first of all, thank, the comrades both in Jersey and New York for really putting this evening together, as well as Comrade Bakra. And also, I'd like to show my appreciation to all the guests who are here, folks who've been in the struggle for a very long time, who's been, really close with us and, supporting us throughout this entire period. It's been a good experience working with you all, throughout this period. We are about 8 weeks away from the trial. I call it the trial of the century. And you should be fired up like we are. It's not, enough just to get mad, get organized, win the masses of the people, and remove all opportunity that our colonial oppressors have that removes our power away from ourselves. That's really important. That is, the process of colonization that's occurred. This process of removing people's own ability to have some sort of power over their lives, and to redirect or expropriate this power onto an oppressive force who doesn't share our interests and our values and things like that. So Lisa Davis is correct. The genocides are occurring all over the place, and one of the longest genocides that have occurred is the genocide of African people. And the U.S. through this attack is trying to shut up its crimes. We are alive. We are working to struggle to overturn our terrible condition of existence, and that is something that will always be a crime in the eyes of colonialism in the U.S. and so forth. And so, thank you for for putting this together and for having all the folks both in person and as well as virtual.
Thank you so very much for that, Brother Emmanuel. Also, I just want to remind the comrades who are speaking on camera, it's a little difficult because I'm looking through here, but if you all also just sort of make sure that you're centered nicely and you're able to do that, that would be great. I also just want to say, these are serious times. We called you here, we wanted to have this meeting, and especially an in-person meeting to the extent that we could, with our comrades located in New York and New Jersey. Because we want to build in this area around what is going on. There's so many facts on so many levels. And the chairman, they want to put them, the Uhuru 3, they want to put them in prison for 10 to 15 years. The trial starts September 3rd. And I just want to say real quickly before I go on, that while they were looking at, because this happened in 2022, you had the attack on in Buffalo supermarket. White man, they want you to all think that these are lone people doing this, but they're not. They had many conversations and everything online, but somebody was able to go into a supermarket, unlock, killed 10 Black people. Then we know that we have what happened in Uvalde, Texas, when they shot up a school. And yet, all during that time, that happened in 2022 as well, but all during that time, they're looking at the African People's Socialist Party and the Uhuru 3, or all these other things are going on. And they're coming after them, because they stood up and spoke out against U.S. imperialism and the wars, and Chairman Omali Yeshitela was one of the first people that I heard to condemn the United States, how they instigated the war with Russia and Ukraine. It's a proxy war with Russia, and they use NATO to do that. And people might have different opinions about this, which is fine for people to have the different opinions, but this is the First Amendment. If they go through with this, Literally, the First Amendment is on the line. It never was anything with Black people. Trust me, we know that. But now there's no there's no front about it. This will literally be the First Amendment, and it is something that we should all be very, very concerned with. Now, also, because we know that we have work to do in terms of the legal expenses in which the African People Socialist Party has been confronted with in the Uhuru movement, it has, it's quite a bit. And so we have a fundraising goal tonight, $1,000. We know we also have people online. I know we're going to do this. We're going to make it happen. This is about a fight, literally, for the First Amendment. They talk about 2025, Project 2025. I'm like, well, Project 1492 through Project 2024 was no good, wasn't better. Come on, we see this happening right here, Project 2025. They're doing this 2022. And so many other things. You know that there's Cop City and all these things. And I'm not going to be too much longer. I'm going to ask that everybody please exercise revolutionary discipline. I hate more than anybody on earth to call time. That's one of the worst things. The person, I hate having to do that. But I'm going to ask everybody to exercise revolutionary discipline, myself included. I'm going to need timekeepers for myself. We have quite a few people so far who want to show statements of solidarity. So we're going to ask everybody to please keep them to 2 minutes. And then we'll move along, we'll move forward. And then maybe at the end, we might have a chance for a little bit more of a discussion. And also, before going any further, I also want to thank Brother Carr and the people of Refa. So much work has been done behind these four walls. I mean, so deep stuff. Really deep. And they've just been a tremendous asset, not just to the community of Newark, but literally to the struggle. And I'm telling you, if these walls could talk, but just some powerful work has been going on. Before going any further, we have a couple of videos. They're going to be really quick. I want people to know more about some of the work of Omali Yeshitela under his vision, some of the work of the Uhuru movement. And I know a lot of people probably seen the videos when they were attacked. I mean, they were violently attacked by the FBI. But I just don't want it to get lost also in terms of just some of the projects that they were working on. So this is going to be about 6 minutes. It should be quick. I got to find them real quickly. And I have the ability, I have to share, right? I can share it. Let me just pull them up a moment. Let me make sure I can share my screen. Just bear with me while I try to find this. No, I have, should be, oh, come on. Oh, right here, okay. So I should be able to go share right here. I should be able to share my screen. Click on, this. Compete, no, hopefully this will take, no way, man, I'm gonna have to. No, but I know I'm gonna have to say share the, yes, you have to click on here. Right, but I'm gonna have to share the audio. Let me just stop this a moment. Hold on 1 second. Let me try this one more time. I know it's gonna ask me to share audio. I don't know why. Yeah, share sound. I don't know why it doesn't do that automatically, but I do want it to share the sound. Why isn't it? Yeah, I'm trying to. Let me try, you know what, let me try it this way a moment. I'm gonna try it like this. Yeah, and then share. I'm gonna open it up like this. Open it up. Now this should allow me to do it. Wait, let me just stop this. Share one more time. Hold on. I'm trying to make sure to share the sound. I don't know why. Hopefully people can hear the sound. And just listen to that. Can people hear the sound? Oh.
No, you have no, you have to do is share sound. You won't
Right, that's what I'm trying to click that on here no more. Yeah, I don't know why. I'm trying to tell it to share the sound.
I can hear it. I'm not sure if others can.
Mhm. I don't know why.
Is it the free version or is it?
No, it's not a free version. It's, I don't know. Yeah, I'm in the Zoom and see, it says right here that, it say, and it won't let me click on it. I don't understand that. Let me try this again. This makes,
That's gotta get upgraded.
right, I don't know. I don't understand this.
Maybe when we put it over here, maybe we'll switch.
No, but they can't hear it online.
Okay.
I don't understand this.
No. That doesn't come up great.
I wonder if it's because it's hooked up to the, maybe it's because it's hooked up to the television.
That's what I'm saying.
Uh, I don't understand why. For whatever reason, and maybe it could be because we have the television, this hooked up to the big screen, but it's not allowing us to share the sound. You all are not able to hear it at all if I,
No,
oh man.
so unless we play it.
But you guys can't hear it online, right?
I am able to hear it. I can hear like some song in the background. I'm not
Oh.
sure about anyone else.
Well, let me try it again.
Raise up the volume. Raise it up.
I just want to see this. The basketball court that they went to St. Louis, and they built that up.
Can't share your screen. You can't share your screen, come out. Can you share your screen, comment, Lisa? Can you share your screen, Lisa? We can't see it either.
Oh, you can't see it?
Just see what you have on your computer. We can't see it unless you share your screen.
Oh, oh my gosh, I thought I was sharing my screen. Let me try one more time. Sorry about that.
There we go.
No.
No, hold on a moment. Hold on. Okay, thank you. Okay, let me try it one more time.
So you gotta be in the mood just here. So
Right.
Right there, that green right there. And now we have to click on the actual, where the video's at. Pick the one you want to do.
Which was, hold on, I apologize.
No problem. That's technology, I guess.
Yes, one more time. Now let me get that up there. Yes, now.
Okay, right here, right there.
Yeah,
You got it. And
there
now
we
hit
go.
share.
Share.
Share and just put the volume up high and stuff. Right there.
Right.
All right. Okay, let's put that down. Put that down. Yeah.
Yeah.
Come right here.
Yeah. The basketball court that they built up in St. Louis. But I just wanted to give I'm gonna bring up the other one now. I just wanted to give a little bit of an idea, because that was a basketball court that they went in when they went into St. Louis. very underdeveloped, poor Black community where they couldn't even play basketball. They had nothing, in this Black community. It was run down, the city basically had just abandoned it. So they come in there with all of these ideas and all the things that they have built up. I'm going to now go to the next video. And again, these are relatively short.
Got a community garden out there too, right?
Oh, yes, exactly. Let me go back into the Zoom now. Make sure I have this done and that it's, hopefully you can hear this. Anyway. Oh, let me go back, move it back. This was something that a television show news report did something about this. Let me take off the.
I'm looking forward to the food because this is considered a food desert. So we're here to, change that.
They say there's few options for residents to get affordable, home-cooked food in their area. Uhuru's mission is to change that.
You can look around the community and see the devastation of the African community here in St. Louis. And this was once a thriving community. And we want to bring that back here to St. Louis. We want to put power in the hands of the people to be able to control the ability for us to eat and house and clothe ourselves instead of depending on someone outside the community.
Uhuru Food and Pie partnered with the African People's Education and Defense Fund, which has other community projects in the area. They hope for an opening date sometime this summer.
That, I believe, was recorded a couple of years ago, but one of the local news show did a program about the work that they were doing in St. Louis.
And the owners say the location of their new project
Let me
is
just go back. I'm gonna show one more. This is a program that they were working on, a doula program, a doula health program. Let me just pull this up again.
Each year, the number of babies that die during childbirth in St. Louis can populate 15 kindergarten classrooms. Imagine all that potential lost. Each neighbor, family member, or friend who loses a baby faces enormous emotional suffering. The Black community in St. Louis suffers from an infant mortality rate 3.3 times that of white. A 2019 study found that Black women in St. Louis County were nearly twice as likely to die while pregnant or after giving birth compared to white women. In a city that is home to some of the best medical care in the country, African women often lack access to prenatal and postnatal care. We recognize these grave disparities to be a symptom of an unjust system in which our power and self-determination takes place. But with the Black Power Blueprint, we are fighting to take back our power for our own community and resources, including the futures of our children. We are embarking on phase 5 of the Black Power Blueprint, a Black-led wellness education center to empower Black women and girls caring for our physical, mental, and emotional well-being. The vision is to provide health and self-care programs that reinforce our traditional African culture and invest in the future of our community, with doula and childbirth educator certification programs, along with opportunities for employment and entrepreneurship. The African Women's Health Program is specifically designed to alleviate the trauma women and children face in our community due to lack of health care and ability to control our health care choices. Traditionally, the Black community values collective prosperity, a value we trace back to Africa. The African Women's Health Program addresses the mental and physical health of Black girls and women by providing prenatal, birthing, and postnatal care, trauma-informed yoga, an annual African Girls Day event, a medicinal herb treatment program. Following the murder of Mike Brown in 2014, The Uhuru movement created the Black Power Group in North St. Louis to go beyond protests and provide solutions to defeat poverty, racial trauma, poor health, unemployment, and lack of housing and health our community experience. The Black Power Blueprint is a comprehensive neighborhood revitalization project that is transforming North St. Louis through renovation, self-sustaining economic development, and political power by and for the Black community. We have long recognized that our community has to solve our own problems through self-reliance projects driven by the needs of the community rather than having solutions imposed on us. We create programs that empower the people from the ground up to create lasting change. The African Women's Health Center will be a much needed respite for our community. It will empower us in taking charge of our health and well-being. Support this innovative and empowering program. Donate today.
Thank you so much. Again, I just wanted to, just to give people an idea, and that's just a very small snapshot of all the kind of programs that the African People's Socialist Party has implemented, but certainly the vision of the Uhuru movement. And we should be very clear about what they are attacking when they went after Omali Yeshitela and the Uhuru Three. Just to let you know a little bit more about the program right now, we're going to open up with a couple of supporters. We want to let the chairman and everybody within the Uhuru be the chairman. We want to let the chairman Omali Yeshitela, Penny Hess, and Jesse Neville, we want them to know we are behind them. We want to send a message. We are undeterred. We are unafraid. You ain't stopping nothing. And you know, rallying together, we people that struggle for that. We're going to go with about our 5% to struggle, and then we're going to hear from the members of the, the Uhuru Three, the revolutionaries. I'm going to call first on record, Deja Sanchez for Parliament Time.
Uhuru, everyone. Viva Cuba. Viva Palestina.
Viva Palestina.
I just want to, it's an honor to be here to see these great panelists. It's great to see Omali Yeshitela. I mean, when I was a young man, I would hear him speech and I say to myself, brother, I don't know how he does it, but I mean, all these years and years, and he just keeps on fighting. And that's the type of example we all need to follow, especially the younger generations, Then I see all the panelists, I see Penny, I see Jesse, I see my brother Carlito. Carlito and I, we worked together in the past, And I just want to thank everyone here. I want to thank Lisa for organizing this as well. I think it's very important. It's very important. It's very important that we are living in some difficult times here. Well, that word solidarity, that word gets tossed around, I think, a little bit too much. Not knowing the pure significance of what that word really stands for. Solidarity is not only, plays on good days. You have to go through bad days too, but we have to stick together. In the case of the hands-off rule, the Uhuru Three, that's when we show la solidaridad, the true solidarity. That's when we stand together. Mi compañeros, my comrades. Today, I just want to say that despite the difficulty we're all going through, we all go through some difficult times. This is a struggle. But I think that we all got to keep on pushing, So don't forget, September 3rd, if I'm right, Lisa, there's a trial. We want people to keep on, support the hands-off Uhuru, the Uhuru Three. Speak about it, talk about it, share it on your social media, get the word out. If you can't make it there in Florida, get the word out either way. Use your talent, your artistic talent, whether it's painting, whether it's sketching, whether it's speaking, public speaking, use your ability to spread the word, And again, so thank you all. Thank you, Lisa, and everything. Gracias por todo. Hands of Uhuru. Hasta la victoria siempre. Venceremos.
Here it's coming. Just want to make sure we have an attendance sheet going around. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Brother Satan. Also, that wonderful, beautiful banner about drop the charges against the Uhuru 3, Brother Satan. Right? Uhuru. Our next revolutionary that is going to be showing us wonderful support, Brother Carlito Rivera, the young Lord, and quite a history with him. Dear Brother Carlito, we're giving everybody 2 minutes. Carlito Rivera.
Uhuru, everyone. I want to say that I got my money on the dismissal of these charges. One of the greatest weaknesses in this case is the turmoil that the ruling class is now going through internally amongst themselves. Their greatest weakness in the persecution of the Uhuru 3 is politics. You know, we have the ability not only to have these charges dropped, but at the same time, advance the development of a new revolutionary movement in this country. If only we were able to sink that fact into the minds of many sectors of the progressive movement who are now being a little slow in rendering support to the Uhuru 3 in this case. I, have concluded that this case is more than just the Uhuru 3.
That's right.
It's really the persecution along with the prosecution of the entire movement.
That's right, yeah. Come on.
If anyone is confused about that, they should reckon with the reality that we have at the same time a galloping fascist movement in this country with the erosion of civil liberties. So to support the Uhuru 3 is really part and parcel of the class struggle in this country right now. It's at the center of it. And it's really a way of pushing back to the repressive forces that are really the legacy of COINTELPRO and the period of Palmer, where the left was persecuted severely. So I am rendering my complete support to this quest of having these charges removed, and with the understanding that this is yet another way of weakening.
And thank you so much, Brother Carlito. Did we lose you? Are you?
No, I'm still here. Thank you, sister, and thank you, everyone. I feel proud and honored that I was invited to this meeting to express my support.
You also were expressing one thought. You were about to say something when it closed.
He doesn't know when.
Okay. But anyway, Brother Carlitos, thank you so very, very much. Carlitos, we have D12 with us. D12. Right. Right. Oh, I know they said they were gonna be getting on. Are they on? Okay, I don't.
Yes, Brother Omawali Clay.
Brother Omar, I know he ain't bashful. Come on, Brother Omawali. He's the least bashful person on earth, but he is with the December 12th movement. And I have to say this much. The December 12th movement, they immediately organized. Nobody had to ask them anything, but as soon as this assault happened, They have called a very strong press conference the next week. They rallied all the forces around to give a strong message that we're not afraid and ain't nobody backing down. And we so appreciate that, D12. So Omali Clay, Uhuru.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, dear brother.
Okay, well, that's a start. This isn't Omali. This is Roger.
Roger, we can still hear you.
I'm trying to get this video back on here. Okay, hold on a second. Here we go. So can you see me now?
Yeah, we can see you, Roger. Woo-hoo.
Okay. Yeah. Right. We understood the importance of this from Jump Street. We understood that it was that the particular attack was on the movement, Uhuru, but we understood that the real attack was on the movement, and this was another step in the development of fascism in the United States. So it was very important that people move beyond simply looking at it, at the individuals and organizations involved, whether or not they agreed with their politics, but to understand that it was a step by the bourgeoisie to close the avenues of people being able to organize, protest, and defend our human rights inside the United States. So when we first heard about it, it was very reminiscent of the case that we had back, which is now 40, this is actually the 40th anniversary of the New York 8 case, when we were arrested and basically charged with crimes that they could not prove, but that the real intent was to have people back up from the movement, to have people say it's too dangerous to be involved in any kind of activity. And what happened, and I think that's what's going to happen here, is that they picked up a rock and they dropped it on their foot, because what they did when they prosecuted us 40 years ago, this was Giuliani's baby, was brought more people to know what we were doing than we had been able to do just organizing. And it was in that process that more and more people became active. So I think it's very important now with this trial coming up, that people be motivated, that people be active. We'll have some people down at the beginning of the trial. We just think it's very, very crucial in terms of the struggle against fascism that's developing in this country, and for people not to look at it narrowly, but to look at the Uhuru 3 are really the stalking horse, they're the canary in the mine that the bourgeoisie is using to see how far can we go. They basically had a green light as far as the Supreme Court and the decisions in the district courts, and they're putting in place the whole structure, the superstructure, to make what previously was illegal legal. And the defense of the Uhuru 3 has got to be the defense for human rights and against fascism in this country. So our position is free the Uhuru 3, that we will win, and that Uhuru forever.
We're gonna hear from two more people. We're gonna hear from Christina, two more people for now, in terms of solidarity. Then we're gonna hear from your whole three, of course, as soon as I come back. You're gonna fill them up with support and revolutionary love, and we're gonna close with that. We're gonna be that all the way through. And also, we want to raise $1,000 tonight. I'm gonna put the first call out. I'm gonna pledge $100. Want some action? Come on with it. Or you can shut this whole thing down by just pledging $1,000. But come on with it. Oh yeah, we don't walk around the call. But I'm gonna call Sister Christina Kalelti. It's somebody who came with us on the November 4th march on the White House, and she has been a staunch supporter. She's fearless, and she also happens to be running for with the Green Party for the Senate, New Jersey Senate. You want to talk to the front? Christina Kalelti.
Hi everyone, so I'm going to keep it short. My name is Christina Khalil. I'm running for U.S. Senate with the Green Party. But what's been going on with the Hero 3, when I first heard the story, I actually went through something very similar. A couple of years, actually in 2000, what were 2004? 2024, 2016 or 2017, I went through something very similar. And in this country, that's when I really woke up and learned that you are guilty unless you have the money to prove you're innocent. They can slap charges on you if you stand up for your rights. They can slap charges on you if you challenge the system, and they can do whatever they want to you. And I didn't have this support, but I was lucky because I did have some lawyers that I did meet up with, and they said, this is complete BS, we're going to do this pro bono. So I was very blessed and lucky for that, but it was still a 3-year fight for my innocence. And so one of the things I'm doing with my campaign is to spread the message for the Uhuru 3, but for also everyone who's innocent and has charges against them while they're in the prison system. I'm also fighting against mass incarceration and redesigning the entire prison system so it's treatment. Make sure that Omali, Jesse, and Penny, all those charges are dropped. Because the entire system is corrupt and it's just an exhausting fight. And I know exactly what he's feeling right now, all 3 of them are feeling. And the fear and anxiety, it just went right through me when I learned your story. And I was so blessed to actually meet them, and it was such an honor to actually hug Omali and let him know that he wasn't alone in this.
It's all about and that comrade I want to bring up, this revolutionary firebrand. He took the black and the new African Black Panther Party puts the African and the black in it. It's just been an honor getting to know this young brother Shaka Zulu, and he has been a stalwart supporter from day one. And he's got quite a history himself with the chairman and his writings and all of that. And the African People Socialist Party. Black power! All power to the people. All power to the people. It's power to the people. Black power. Power to the people. Yes.
All power to the people.
All power to the people.
So today, most of y'all know I like to speak extemporaneous, but I said I'm about to face some heavy hitters. Omali got 50 years in this thing, so let me put a speech together. It's short, about a minute, so let me dive right into this thing. But how the Black Panther Party greet the people? We say all power to the people.
All power to the people.
We can do better than that. All power to the people.
All power to the people.
Free the Uhuru 3.
Free the Uhuru 3.
All power to the people.
All power to the people.
Free the Uhuru 3.
Free the Uhuru 3.
Today, we are at an important gathering. A Black man and his comrades dare to struggle and dare to resist the enemy capitalist state for nearly 50 years. For that, he now faces time in the enemy prison. They want to not just silence the Uhuru movement, but weaken and diffuse the proletarian movement that is dripping with a class analysis of fascism. We frame our argument in terms of exploiters and exploited, the colonizer and the colonists, the imperialists and the intercommunal oppressed people around the world, the theory that Huey advanced. That Comrade Omali do not have freedom of speech confirms for us, the Black revolutionaries, that we cannot expect justice, nor can we expect mercy from the racist capitalist pig system.
That's right.
All power to the people.
All power to the people.
The new African Black Panther Party does not expect justice or mercy from this system. But we are determined to build the power of the people to end this system and replace it with one based upon equality and social justice for everyone. It is from this perspective, brothers and sisters, comrades, and we probably got some enemies listening.
That's right, that's right. You're in the house, babe. You know.
That we must view these proceedings. The fabricated charges put on Chairman Omali and the Uhuru 3, and what we have to say about that. This racist system deliberately inflict conditions of torture on thousands of prisoners every day. And that's what New African Black Panther Party speak for. Well, all of us have had an encounter with the enemy criminal justice system. I did 21 years in an enemy prison. Went there as a common criminal, transformed my criminal mentality into a revolutionary mentality. And for 4 years, we've been on the streets in North, in fact, across the country, building base areas of political power. So for us, the prisoners play a constituent role in this liberation struggle, and I don't want to miss no words about that. All power to the people, because Omali Yeshitela will be a prisoner. Think about that. Think about that. So we can't excuse the 2.5 million people that are in prison, 1 million black, 80,000 in shoes, 9.5 million on some kind of criminal justice supervision, whether parole, probation, or just had an encounter with the traffic cop. So let me end this here, brothers and sisters. We are living in historic times, brothers and sisters, revolutionary times, as Brother Malcolm X put it. I believe that there will ultimately be a clash between the oppressed and those that do the oppression. I believe that there will be a clash between those who want freedom, justice, and equality for everyone, and those who want to continue the system of exploitation. This is not, brothers and sisters, a tea party. We ain't here to make cake. We're here to make revolution. And the best way we can make revolution is put class struggle on the agenda, put class consciousness on the agenda, and say to the oppressor, like Angela said before, her militancy was soothed by the halls of power. If they come for Omali tonight, they're going to come for us tomorrow. So let's stand collectively against this enemy racist system. All power to the people. All power to the people. All power to the people. Stop charges against the Uhuru. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I wasn't lying when I said it was a fire brand, not at all. And they're already coming for us. They're already coming for us. I know in South Orange, they're coming for me in their way as well. We'll talk about that a little bit later, but we hear all the time about people being wrongfully locked out. And we know that they want to, in New Jersey, make it illegal to talk about, to criticize Israel, or to talk about Zionism. They want to make it illegal to do that. So anyway, now we are going to open up and hear really more in terms of what we really came here, what this is about. And we're going to be hearing from our revolutionary freedom fighters who have been wrongfully convicted, harassed, they're just coming after them for retaliation, just to persecute, just for vengeance, just because this is the nature of the beast. And the first person that we will be hearing from is Penny Hess, and she is she has been a member of the African People's Solidarity Committee since its founding in 1976, and she is currently the chairperson of the African People's Solidarity Committee, and she is one of the Uhuru 3. Now, just say this much. The United States allowed Carolyn Bryant, the murderer of Emmett Till, to just reign freely without having to worry about anything. In fact, it was the DOJ under Donald Trump that somehow they were forced to open up the case, reopen up the case into Carolyn Bryant. And her role in the murder of Emmett Till, she murdered a 14-year-old boy, young African male. Joe Biden gets into office, 2021, the Department of Justice closed the case. They couldn't find nothing wrong with what Carolyn Bryant did. So she was able to just die without any fears at all. But Penny Hess is the one they went after. Penny Hess, who talks about reparations and talks about overturning and rejecting this horrible legacy of what whiteness has meant in this country. So let's make sure that's the good thing there.
Uhuru.
Uhuru.
Uhuru, thank you, Lisa. And I just really want to salute you, the vice chair of the Black is Back Coalition, and that powerful introduction. And it is truly, truly an honor to be here at this powerful event in Newark tonight. I salute this event and everybody who is there and everybody who has spoken. As has been said, my name is Penny Hess, and I'm one of the Uhuru 3 under the leadership of Chairman Omali Yeshitela and my comrade in the Uhuru Solidarity Movement, Jesse Neville. But we are winning. We are winning. And the leadership of the chairman and all of the profound support that we are hearing tonight and we have experienced in the last 2 years, we know that we will be victorious, pushing back this vicious colonial state attack that is attempting to silence Chairman Omali Yeshitela in the struggle for African liberation, but they will never, never be able to do that. It is too late. I want to salute Carlito Rivera, the Young Lords, and the struggle of the Puerto Rican people for independence. I want to salute the D12 movement, Roger Wareham, and I remember the New York 8 case. And I remember that as has been said, one of the very first events after the raids of July 29th, 2022, D12 called a powerful press conference in Brooklyn that still reverberates today. Really, really powerful. I agree that the state has dropped a rock on their own foot. I salute the people of Cuba, the people of Palestine. This is a great period that we live in. The struggles of African people here and the struggles of African people on the continent that are pushing the colonizers out. So, yes, I'm sorry. Uhuru. So I am the chair of the African People Solidarity Committee, the organization of white people under the leadership of the African People's Socialist Party, organizing in the white community under the strategy of the party to send white people behind enemy lines to be the voice of Black power in whiteface. And this is what we do. We fight for reparations to African people. We raise the reality that this system that we live in, this system that the chairman has called the colonial mode of production, that is built on the suffering, the enslavement, the colonization, the theft of the land and resources of African people for 600 years, built on the genocide against the indigenous people and the theft of their land. This is the only reason that white people here and in Europe and anywhere else that white people have gone around the world, have resources, have power at the expense of the suffering of African people and the people on the planet Earth. The Chairman Omali Yeshitela has taught us that this is scientific. You can't deny it. If you read history, you study history, you see the world around you, we can't deny that. And yes, so we take on the fight against colonialism and the colonial mode of production behind enemy lines. And that we show that the struggle for socialism is led by African people.
That's right.
Because how could there be socialism when indigenous people are colonized on their own land and African people do not have power and the return of their stolen land and resources? And, you know, again, I want to salute the brilliant and fearless leadership of the chairman. And yes, this attack has increased the base and the ability of thousands and thousands of people to hear the chairman for the first time and to internalize what is being said in this period. We are facing 15 years in prison for our words, for the First Amendment, what is supposedly guaranteed by the First Amendment. The target of this attack is the Chairman Omali Yeshitela, and the African People's Socialist Party and the African Liberation Movement. There are no charges of violence or fraud or theft or anything like this. And this is a precedent-setting case. It is a continuation of the kind of attacks in the 1960s, like such as COINTELPRO and other fronts of the US colonial state to try to crush and silence the voice of the African working class and the ability of African workers to be the agents of their own future. And thereby, when African people are free and liberated, all people will be free and liberated, and this system will not be able to live and continue. And this is one of the reasons, the attack in the 1960s is one of the reasons that Chairman Omali Yeshitela and the African People's Socialist Party created the African People's Solidarity Committee, which was created back in 1976, almost 50 years ago. I was there, and I was recruited at the first founding conference of APSC because what the chairman was laying out made so much sense. And the conditions and colonialism still exist. And that's why I'm still here, because we have to be part of the white community fighting under the leadership of the African Liberation Movement to say this is the future of all people, including ourselves. And that it is clear why an attack on the party would include the two leaders of the Solidarity Movement under the leadership of the party to try to frighten or scare off or break this, increase this isolation and scare off white solidarity in the struggle for reparations, but it has not succeeded. I want to say everybody is clear on this, I'm sure, in this event, but the Chairman Omali Yeshitela is innocent. Jesse and I are innocent. And this, again, is a very dangerous case because it is precedent setting. Attorney Goodman, who is one of the Uhuru 3 lawyers, attorneys, who is a First Amendment legal expert, says he has never seen a case such as this. Because again, it is only about our words. There are no words uttered by the chairman that have not been covered by the colonial state's own law and First Amendment of their constitution. The chairman has courageously spoken out for 60 years about the right of African people to be free, something that the chairman calls anti-colonial free speech. The right to struggle of African people to struggle for their own national liberation, African liberation. And so the state manufactured the lie, the absurd lie, that Chairman Omali Yeshitela suddenly in the year 2014, a totally arbitrary year, suddenly became, according to them, under the influence of a Russian agent, which we know is absolutely absurd, and it's absolutely racist and colonialist to say that the chairman does not have his own agency, that he is not a brilliant political leader and theoretician who has always laid out the world as it really is. So we are under indictment. We are facing trial on September 3rd, has been said. We're calling on everybody to be there. The Uhuru movement is holding a mass mobilization on Saturday, August 31st, prior to the trial in St. Petersburg. We're calling on people to be there, be there, be there. We've got to show the state at a rally, a huge rally, which will actually take place across the street from the Uhuru House. We have to show this massive support and have hundreds and hundreds of people who can't even get in the courtroom on September 3rd. Just to say quickly that we are charged on counts of so-called conspiracy to commit offense or to defraud the United States government, which is absurd because everything that the African People's Socialist Party says and stands for is transparent. It's published in the Burning Spear every single month. And that also they say that the chairman and the party failed to register as a foreign agent of Russia, which is absolutely absurd. So
That would be Juliana.
so yeah, so the so if this state is successful in convicting Chairman Omali Yeshitela and the Uhuru 3, the First Amendment, as we know it, will be gone. And we also know they would be able to do this to any other organization just based on words, which is unprecedented. So this is in the interest of everyone to take up this fight. And they always used historically the African liberation movement as the test case, as the canary in the coal mine, as somebody said. And this is what this colonial government has always done to African people who have struggled for freedom and liberation to all. And as people know, on July 29th, 2022, we're coming up to the 2-year anniversary on that. The FBI and various police agencies raided 7 homes and offices of the Uhuru movement in St. Petersburg, Florida, and St. Louis, in 2 states, with scores and scores of agents and cops and in armored vehicles and carrying assault rifles. They handcuffed the chairman and deputy chair at gunpoint. They handcuffed Jesse and Comrade Amanda, and they held Kitty and me in my living room at gunpoint for 7 hours. We know that this is the history again of what this government has done. Marcus Garvey, Paul Robeson, W.E.B. Du Bois. This is what the US government, the colonial state, has done to silence the African liberation movement. So I am very honored to be here today. I'm very honored to be under Chairman Omali Yeshitela's brilliant leadership, which he is our lead lawyer in a lot of ways. He's the one that has won even the attorneys to begin to see the political nature of this historic trial. And just that the chairman has always fought and will fight his entire life. I am very honored to be under his leadership, and that to recognize that genuine solidarity under the leadership of the African Revolution is the way forward for white people. It is the leadership for white people. We sit on the backs of African people, but under the leadership of the African Revolution, we can make our self-criticism to African people and the peoples on the planet Earth, acknowledge the reality of colonialism and the colonial mode of production as the cornerstone of this capitalist system, and fight for anti-colonial free speech. So I call on any white people that are listening to join the African People's Solidarity Committee, the Uhuru Solidarity Movement. You can go to uhurusolidarity.org, join Hands Off Uhuru, Hands Off Africa, all out for the August 31st mobilization, all out for the trial, September 3rd. Uhuru, we will win, and reparations now.
Uhuru, reparations now. Yes. Next, you're going to hear from our comrade, Jesse Neville, who is the chair of the Uhuru Solidarity Mass Mobilization, and he's also facing 10 to 15 years in prison. Our comrade Jesse Neville will be giving us a little bit more of an update and some of the details about the legalities going on with this and that they're facing. And just a reminder, comrade, that you have 10 minutes, and then we're going to listen to the chairman for 20 minutes. Then we're going to hear more from Uhuru Solidarity statements. And thank you all so much for being here. Uhuru, Jesse Neville.
Uhuru, can you hear me?
Yes, perfectly well.
Uhuru, thank you so much. And yes, I'm very excited to hear the chairman as well. So I will try to be expeditious with this presentation. Are you able to see the slide that says the case of the Uhuru 3?
Yeah.
Okay. So thank you, Uhuru, and revolutionary salute to you, Comrade Lisa Davis, the vice chair of the Black is Back Coalition. Salute to ReFal. Salute to all of the comrades and organizations in Newark, New Jersey, in New York, in the Northern region. To everybody who has spoken, it's an honor to be a part of this event tonight. I want to extend my deepest, profound revolutionary salute to my leadership, Chairman Omali Yeshitela and the African People's Socialist Party, including Deputy Chair Onazane Yeshitela, Mwezi Odom, the chair of the Hands Off Uhuru campaign, and all of the members of the African People's Socialist Party. And I also want to salute Chairwoman Penny Hess, who is my direct leadership in the African People's Solidarity Committee and whose powerful words just a moment ago speak for me and speak for all members of APSC and the Uhuru Solidarity Movement, organizing in the white community under the leadership of the African People's Socialist Party for reparations to African people. As was stated, along with Chairman Omali Yeshitela, who is the primary target of this attack, and Chairwoman Penny Hess, I am one of the Uhuru 3. And I consider this an honor, a badge of honor that I am proud to wear, to stand with my leadership, with the courageous Chairman Omali Yeshitela and Chairwoman Penny Hess and the African Revolution. We know that we are winning and we will win. I will be talking about the significance of this case, the case of the Uhuru 3, as Chairwoman Penny just said, a precedent-setting case in so many ways, and the spark of an anti-colonial free speech movement that has arisen as a counteroffensive against these bogus charges. The case of the Uhuru 3 is the most serious political assault on the struggle for African liberation since the 1960s, as the chairman has summed up. And what's at stake, as the chairman has said, what's at stake in this case is not just the First Amendment or free speech, but the future itself, the future of humanity, the future of the struggle of the peoples of the world for freedom and self-determination and an end to colonial oppression. This is a test case. If the chairman and the Uhuru 3 are convicted, the gates are open for the US government to charge anyone for any speech that they don't like, that they want to silence, simply by alleging that your speech was delivered at the behest of a quote unquote foreign government, simply on the basis that your views may align from time to time with the views of that foreign government. When the United States government indicted Chairman Omali Yeshitela and the Uhuru 3, the Department of Justice, quote unquote, published a press release. In that press release, they stated that the Uhuru movement had, quote, weaponized the First Amendment right to freedom of speech. Weaponized free speech, they said. The chairman challenges us to look at the history of free speech in this country, the First Amendment. The First Amendment to a constitution created as part of the Bill of Rights in 1789 and ratified in 1791, when African people in this country were still enslaved, written by the white men who were enslaving them, written for each other, by white people for each other, not for African people. So as the chairman calls on us to understand, as white people, when they attack the First Amendment rights of the chairman, they're making an assault on the First Amendment itself, a right that was meant for white people to begin with. They're using this attack on the African struggle, which, as the chairman says, has always been the torchbearers of democracy and democratic rights, as the vehicle through which to dismantle any pretense of democracy or semblance of free speech altogether. July 29th, 2022, the FBI raided the Uhuru movement, and on that day, they unsealed an indictment of a Russian national named Alexander Ionov, which included 4 quote-unquote unindicted co-conspirators at that time, Chairman Omali Yeshitela, who was characterized as unindicted co-conspirator number 1, Director Akile Anai, the leader of Agitprop for the African People's Socialist Party, Chairwoman Penny Hess, and myself. 9 months went by with no motion from the legal system on this case explicitly, but a lot did happen in those 9 months in the form of economic attacks carried out by various fronts of the US government against the Uhuru movement. Bank closures, economic sanctions, financial attacks, GoFundMe holding thousands of dollars hostage, fiscal sponsors shutting down abruptly, taking funds away from the African community radio station in St. Pete, burning down a church that the Uhuru movement was under contract to purchase across the street from the chairman's home in St. Louis, and so much more. And finally, 9 months after the raids, the US quote unquote Department of Justice indicted the Uhuru Three. We were arraigned in federal court in Tampa, Florida in May of last year, released on a $25,000 signature bond and subject to pretrial conditions that include restricted travel only with permission and the revoking of our passports. The chairman was put in handcuffs and leg irons and brought out into the court for the arraignment in the federal court in Tampa, Florida. The Uhuru Three are charged with one count of each of the two following federal criminal statutes. The first is 18 USC section 951, which means that essentially they are charging the chairman and the Uhuru Three with failing to notify the attorney general that we were, quote, working under the control of a foreign government. This charge carries a maximum penalty of 10 years in federal prison. The second count is one count of violation of 18 U.S. Code section 371, conspiracy to commit an offense against or defraud the United States government. This charge carries a maximum penalty of 5 years in federal prison. The indictment absurdly and offensively alleges that 50 years of struggle for Black freedom embodied by Chairman Omali Yeshitela can be chalked up to a quote-unquote Russian plot to sow discord in the United States.
That's right.
Suddenly, despite giving his entire adult life to the freedom of African and oppressed peoples, that in 2014, the chairman was commissioned to turn over the leadership of the African Revolution to someone in Russia who wasn't even born when the chairman got involved in the political in the anti-colonial struggle, and that that it's based on an insulting, slanderous, racist premise that African people in the United States, that Chairman Omali Yeshitela would need a Russian or anyone else to tell him that African people are oppressed, that African people have the right to struggle for their freedom. So as the chairman has said, the Uhuru Three are not guilty of these bogus charges. It is the US government who is guilty. It is the colonial state who are the real criminals. The FBI, whose hands are bloody with a track record of harassment, surveillance, infiltration, imprisonment, torture, and assassination of African and indigenous freedom fighters. We say free Leonard Peltier, free all indigenous political prisoners.
That's right.
Uhuru. The FBI, who is guilty of assassinating Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, Fred Hampton, Mark Clark, and so many others, going back to the 1920s, with the FBI cutting its teeth, working to destroy the movement of Marcus Garvey for the liberation of Africa and African people. All of the so-called overt acts in the indictment of the Uhuru Three are pure political speech. It is all about our words, our speeches, the Uhuru movement's speeches, publication of articles, presentations, events like this one, publishing a petition to charge the United States government with the crime of genocide against African people, holding tours to win support for reparations to African people, holding Zoom events to talk about the struggle for the liberation of African people. This is what they are categorizing as overt acts in a criminal conspiracy. As Chairwoman Penny stated, and as our attorneys have pointed out, this is the first time this foreign agents law has been used to target pure speech. Every other time they've used this law, which is a seldom enforced law to begin with, every other time they've used it, they have alleged something beyond speech. Now, we're not saying that the other instances of 951 prosecutions were legitimate, because certainly they were not. But nonetheless, in those cases, they manufactured some allegation beyond speech. They said that there was some spying, some bribery, some extortion, something else going on beyond speech. The case of the Uhuru Three is the first case where they didn't even bother to make up anything else beyond saying, well, they made some speeches. And obviously, they have to face the First Amendment, which is supposed to protect political speech. So they make the argument that our speech, the Uhuru movement speech, is not protected by the First Amendment because it is not about what the Uhuru movement said. It is about the fact that, quote, the Russians told them to say it. And that the government is arguing that this indictment does not violate the First Amendment because it is, quote, content neutral. They expect people to believe that it has nothing to do with the content of the Uhuru movement's speech. Of course, this is absurd. If this were the case, the Department of Justice would be indicting AIPAC and sending in FBI SWAT teams every AIPAC office in this country who are bankrolled by the state of Israel to the tune of millions and even billions of dollars every single year. The most glaring proof that this indictment is not content neutral is the language in the indictment itself. The indictment accuses the Uhuru Three not just of giving speeches whose content is irrelevant, but of spreading, quote, disinformation and propaganda. And when our lawyers responded and said, well, how can you say they were spreading disinformation? Nothing they said was untrue. The government responded by saying, oh, when we say disinformation, we don't mean that it wasn't true. Disinformation, the government argues, can now include the truth. If that truth reduces trust in the United States and in the Western social system, as they put it. Disinformation includes the truth if that truth makes America look bad, which the truth does. So finally, to close this out, the Uhuru Three indictment and the arguments by the prosecutors attempt to get around the First Amendment, to shred the First Amendment by redefining the chairman's speech as conduct or as action, by saying that at the moment that speech is alleged to have been spoken under the direction or control of a foreign government, it is no longer speech, it is now action. This is completely unprecedented, even in bourgeois colonial law. But they argue, in addition to engaging in speech, which is now action, you also engaged in action beyond speech. For example, giving speeches, publishing articles, traveling to speak, et cetera, et cetera. So from every direction, they are attempting to blow a massive hole in the First Amendment. And that is why this case is, as Afia Nwangaza said, the tip of the spear for the US government's repression of the struggle against colonialism, and must be the tip of the spear for the struggle to end colonialism and to win liberation for African and oppressed peoples. So I'll close it there and say that we are set to go to trial in September of this year in Tampa, Florida. And we have various motions that are under review by the court. But at the end of the day, as the chairman says, our real jury is in the masses of the people of the world. We have to build a massive movement. We need thousands of people in St. Petersburg and Tampa, Florida in August and September. And we are confident that the real verdict will be delivered not in the jury in the courtroom, but in the jury of the masses of the people in the streets. Drop the charges against the Uhuru Three, hands off Chairman Omali Yeshitela, or the sky's the limit. Uhuru.
First of all, we want to, can you keep going around and give your attendance sheet? We want to make sure okay, great. We want to make sure we keep track of that. Also, we have some files with some action items on the back that people can do. Please scan. One of the things you want to start making sure people are sending letters and writing to these rotten, no good representatives and some other things that we have to do. And in New York City, one of the things we really want to do, because we got some leading, mainstream news institutions here that have been ignoring this case, and we're not going to let that happen. We plan to take it to the New York Times, and we will discuss that. But now, brothers and sisters, it always gives me a great honor to introduce this next speaker, although I never feel my introduction suffice. So I'm going to do my best, Brother Chairman. He is Omali Yeshitela. He is the founder of the Uhuru movement. He is the founder of the African People's Socialist Party and so many other institutions, and also one of the co-founders of the Black is Back Coalition for Social Justice, Peace, and Reparations. And we just want to let him and the whole world know we got your back. And we are connecting all of these struggles. That's right. What's going on in Palestine, the Congo, the Sudan, Cuba. Come on, Lisa. We're overturning this vicious, racist, disgusting, repulsive system of colonialism. And the chairman has always been about that. Chairman, brother, Omali Yeshitela. Got your back.
Uhuru, thank you so very much, Comrade Sister Lisa Davis, and I want to express my appreciation to everyone who has come here. I bring apologies to you from Comrade Deputy Chair Omali Yeshitela, who would be here with me. I'm now in a home in St. Petersburg, Florida. This was one of the sites that was raided, although on July 29, 2022, despite the fact that we were not here because we were living in St. Louis. But she would be here, but she presides over more than 50 different economic institutions that we have created as a part of our strategy to negate colonialism, because colonialism is the expropriation of the power of the people by foreign and alien governments and powers who extract value against our will, against the whole people. And so part of what we do is we negate the colonial process by growing the capacity to feed, clothe, and house ourselves as a people, bringing the people into that dynamic political process. So that is the reason that she is not here. And I also want to say that it's really important, we believe, to be here with so many of you, and so many of you are veterans whom I've known for quite a while, and with whom I've engaged and struggled against the common oppressor with for a long time. It's good to be in this meeting in part also because I'm in the company of people and groups that represent colonized people. And I am a part of a movement that at a certain junction in the history in this country was very clearly led by people who were colonized and actually articulated our struggle as one against colonialism. And that was suppressed after a period of time. Physically, violently, mass arrests, assassinations, and things like that. And then a political assault and ideological assault was made on us so that we ended up not even being able to talk about colonialism for a while. And after the most significant anti-colonialists of us were either killed or were imprisoned or threatened or driven underground. And that's the reality we must understand. We must never forget that. Then we were pushed into a situation of struggling against racism, which is fundamentally the ideological foundation of the social system. It is not the actual thing that we suffer from. Racism, how do you even know when you won the struggle against racism? Nobody comes out and waves a white flag. There's nothing that you can do or say. People during the 60s and 70s, we saw people who going to taking classes to unlearn their racism, but after they finished their classes, the conditions of the African people were still the same. And so we engage in this struggle against colonialism. We've always been engaged in this struggle against colonialism. That helps us to understand the reality is that while we're facing a 15-year prison sentence, I'm facing a 15-year prison sentence, which is effectively a life sentence for me. I'll be 83 years old right after this trial starts in September. And so, but the fact is that there has never been a time where freedom was not illegal for enslaved people. There's no time where freedom was not illegal for somebody who was colonized. And we have a situation where, going back through history, as it was already mentioned, the 1791, the ratification of the Bill of Rights that included the First Amendment happened, but it was only 1865 before Africans were characterized as free. The so-called emancipation of African people occurred formally in this country. So we had no freedom then. I remember reading about how Nat Turner in 1831 led a struggle against colonial slavery of African people in the Tidewater area of Virginia, slogan, strike at night and spare no one. And he actually led that struggle, and which was crushed ultimately. And after he was finally captured, he was taken to trial. Nat Turner was actually put on trial. And when he put on trial, they found him guilty. But the truth of the matter is, the colonial reality that we experience is that even if he had been found innocent, he still would not have been free. Because the bedrock, the foundation of the social system upon which rests things like First Amendment, U.S. Constitution, is colonialism. And when I appreciate so many people, some people in this meeting talking about fascism and how this is a creeping fascism that we are seeing. But the fact of the matter is, what is fascism except the time and means through which the colonial contradictions, which is foundational to the whole capitalist system, creeps and finds its way into the society of the colonizers themselves. And so the fundamental contradictions, colonialism always has been colonialism, and fascism, of course, is the form of the state. And in this instance, we are talking about a colonial state that was created at the expense of the freedom of African people, the indigenous people in this country, many of whom still live in concentration camps referred to as Indian reservations. Nobody calls that fascism when it talks about the indigenous people. Nobody calls it fascism the way they killed George Floyd. Nobody calls it fascism the number of African people who are locked up in prison system, etc. It's only fascism when the system that we are affected by and attacked by in a very serious way finds itself creeping into or recognized into the community and society of the colonizers. So this is a deep and very profound struggle that we're involved in, and our oppressors recognize this. And we are at a time now where this whole colonial mode of production is experiencing severe crisis. There's crisis abounds everywhere. The whole society is fracturing. This is what January 6th was. This is what the selection of Donald Trump was all about. This is what the assault on the whole notion of free elections in this country that we saw coming with Trump. Even before he actually came into power, even during the times when he was participating in campaigning for the presidency. This is what we are looking at in terms of the fact that right now there's a crisis that people are hoping that they can have an election in 2024 because the degree and extent to which discontent exists among white people. And when I'm saying this, I'm not saying this in a fashion that is designed or should be heard as attacking white people who are upset with the way the system is. Everybody is upset with the way the system is. And that's something that we need to be able to understand, because most people don't see an alternative. And that's why they don't want us to talk, because we say there is an alternative to Trump and Biden. Here you look at Biden, who is clearly extraordinarily representative of a dying social system, stares into space and has to be led off stage. And that's how imperialism is. That's how colonialism is. It has to be led off stage. That's our responsibility on the one hand. On the other hand, his opponent is Donald J. Trump, a billionaire who is conspicuously corrupt, conspicuously somebody who might be characterized as a degenerate and what have you. This is the best that they've got. This is the best that they can put forth as rulers of this country. And the people find themselves too often trapped with this extraordinary binary contradiction that they have to choose one or the other, that there is no other way they can go. But increasingly, we see people moving away from Biden. And the reason they're moving away from Biden and the Democratic Party, because this has been the party for the longest period of time that has captured the attention and the loyalty of African people after the Democrats and the Republicans participated in killing Panthers, killing Malcolm, overturning governments all around the world, the Lumumba, overturning the government of Nkrumah in Ghana, killing Che Guevara in Bolivia. At the time, both Democrats and Republicans participated in this. And so the murder, brutality of us has been one that's been shared by both. But there was a time in the 1960s when we were not so concerned. We were not driven off the rails because we thought the Democratic Party was not going to support us. We didn't say that we don't have anybody to vote for. We don't have anywhere to go because the Democratic Party is not for us. That was the Black Panther Party who were running for president. There were other revolutionary organizations building independent revolutionary movements that pulled African people into it. There was a crisis for the social system that was based in part because African people and the colonized had turned our backs on the system and had begun to create our own systems and institutions, independent, separate from, and that contended with the power of the oppressor. You got a crisis here. The crisis in this system is one that is international. It is the rise of Russia as a contending force here today. After the Russia was supposed to have been dead, you have a crisis because China has obviously entered into the fray in a very serious kind of way, contending with all of the colonial powers for its own space and for all kinds of space in the world. You have a crisis because you got Iran and Korea and Cuba and all of these forces, Venezuela striking out to win independence and separate themselves from the domination of this colonial social system. So that's what we're involved in. We see a whole world. And I did not get involved in the movement to keep me from going to prison. I got in the movement because too many of us were going to prison, living in prison, because being in America, as Malcolm X said, if you're Black, if you live in America, you're already in prison. That's the thing that we were confronted with today, then, and we're confronted with now, and we have to find our own path, and that's why they would attack us. Because we say there is an alternative. That's why you can look at what it is that we have done in the Uhuru movement. You can look at the struggle against colonialism. You can look at what the peoples of the world are doing to change our station in life by challenging the social system. Call it capitalism, call it imperialism. But the fact is it rests upon the colonial domination of people. You can imagine the existence of capitalism without enslavement of Africa. You cannot imagine the existence of capitalism without what they do to the indigenous people here and the so-called Indian reservations, what they've done to Mexico, stole half of Mexico. All of this is part of the construct that we call capitalism, but it rests upon the foundation of colonized people and colonialism as a mode of production. That is a system within which all the people on the planet Earth participate in order to create and recreate life. That's what we're looking at, and that's what has to be destroyed, and that's why they would attack us. So we're calling on everybody, as has been mentioned, to get involved in this struggle and recognize when you're getting involved in the struggle, you have to fight for free speech. This is their conundrum. This is their problem. The problem that they've got is that free speech was not for us. The Constitution was not for us. If it was, it wouldn't have been a 1964 Civil Rights Act that I participate in winning. It wouldn't have been a 1965 voting rights bill that I participate in getting. They wouldn't have needed that. And of course, as you see, there's an ongoing attack on even the Civil Rights Bill, Civil Rights Act, et cetera. That's happening. And guess who was one of the biggest opponents of the Civil Rights Bill? Joseph Biden was an opponent. Joseph Biden was an opponent of all the things that liberals say they love, like busing, etc. He didn't want his children, to quote him, to go to school in a jungle, so he was opposed to busing. This is the contradiction that we're looking at and the forces that are at play in this process. Come to St. Petersburg, Florida. We want you to be here in St. Petersburg, Florida on August 31st. We want hundreds, thousands of people to be here. We want to revitalize an anti-colonial movement. We want to create in the real world a much more effective, much more ubiquitous, much more comprehensive 2, 3 mini Vietnams, 2, 3 mini Palestines. Because what we recognize, if you see it's a colonial mode of production, you see that we're all connected in the same process of colonial domination. If that being the case, a colonized system, that being the case, we don't even have to hear from, as Comrade Roger said, that the moment they saw from Detail 12, saw the attack on us, they knew what to do, they knew what it was, and they moved to deal with it. That's how it ought to be. That's how it should be. You don't have to call me. When the Nicaraguan Revolution first reared its head, we organized the first mass organization, mass meeting, mass conference in Northern California to support that. Never had met a Nicaraguan in our lives. We did it because we recognized we were part of the same struggle. And that's what all of our responsibility is. When I went to Ireland in 1982, they talking about going to Russia, Moscow. I went to Moscow in 2015 when I was in Ireland in 1982 and 83. and that got the Irish Republican Socialist Party to unite with the struggle for reparations, to unite with the struggle for African people being free, and to unite with the demand that we were making that the United States be ratify the convention, the 1948 Convention on the Prevention and Punishment of the Crime of Genocide as it relates to Black people. The Irish Republican Socialist Party did that. They also had a national press conference and said they would not take a single penny from any Irish person in the United States if they did not support and unite with the Black Liberation Movement. I was there. I was in Nicaragua when Reagan, the first Donald Trump was elected in 1980. I was there shortly after when he was inaugurated, Reagan. I was there in Nicaragua, standing in solidarity with Nicaragua. I was on Big Mountain when the FBI was coming to attack the so-called Navajo, the Dene people, because they had discovered some uranium on their land and what have you. I was there. Our party was there. That's who we are. We've always been in place, struggling, united in solidarity with the oppressed of the world, and particularly and especially colonized people. I've been all over Africa and various other places throughout the Caribbean and what have you, forwarding the struggle for African liberation and in unity with the oppressed and colonized and working peoples of the world. That's where we are today. And that's why we call on you. Come there, be in St. Petersburg, Florida on August 31st. Let's rebuild this whole movement. But also, if you can, we want people to come in the interim. We want you to come now, come tomorrow, etc. We want organizers on the ground in the St. Petersburg, Florida area. This is where the trial is going to be happening, St. Petersburg, Tampa, Florida. So come. We're asking people to participate in political work. We call this the long, hot summer that we engaged in. So we see forums and we see marches and mobilizations and things like that that will be going on for the duration of the trial. So starting now, we are engaged in doing that. We are creating SNCC-style work on the ground, not just a passing out a flyer and calling that organizing. We're going door to door. We're setting up tables and talking to people throughout the city of St. Petersburg, and we're calling on you to do the same thing. And we're calling you to do it in Newark as well. And we're calling you to do it in Brooklyn as well. And the various places where we're living in, organize the people on the ground. The people want an alternative. We can show the people an alternative. Otherwise, they're stuck with Biden and they're stuck with Trump. And all polls say they don't want to be stuck with either one of those. Let us help the people find their way forward through this revolutionary movement that we have to resurrect. I believe right now, the court has determined that we are going to trial on September 3rd. There are a couple of motions that still calling for dismissal that still have not been heard or ruled on. But the fact they're saying we're supposed to go to trial on September 3rd sort of suggests that they don't intend to give us the benefit of dismissing these charges. But we have the ability, I believe, to build a massive movement to help the court see its way forward. Build a massive movement of thousands of people upon whose shoulders our lawyers can stand on when they go into a courtroom, and that would make all the difference in their performance and all the difference in what the court and the state is able and willing to do. So I thank you, comrades, very much for being here. And something happened with my timer, I see, and I apologize. I had the timer on, but I'm a dinosaur when it comes to some of this technology. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Uhuru.
Okay, the chairman's timers are usually living alive like me. I was listening. I forgot completely about the time. Uhuru, brother chairman, thank you so very much. And again, we are very, very appreciative and very, very glad to be able to be in this room. We recognize and we respect everybody's time. Next, we're gonna make the call for resources. And again, we appreciate anything anybody can give. We're going for $1,000 tonight in between Newark and New Jersey. We got some people online. You can pledge and
Comment, Lisa.
yes.
You should explain. We talk about money.
Yes.
The attack by itself on us, the damage they did, the things they stole, the stuff they broke up, that was $40,000. We've had to spend up to now, we've raised something like $300,000 for mostly for legal fees, etc. And we want to raise money going forward so that we want to knock this resource question out of the box. So this, that's why we're asking for a contribution, but also we're saying on the 27th of July, that's the time where we really want to get everything that we need so that we don't have to worry about money anymore and we can just drive forward, cross the bridge to Tampa and win this case. Uhuru. Thank you. Explain about the money. Yeah.
Well, exactly. And we know that, we need resources. One of the things that this government does, because they try to break us, they'll just come at us with anything, knowing that we have got to really struggle to be able to put up the fight that we need to put up with. They can just do it like it's nothing. It doesn't cost them anything. It's a drop in the bucket, what they are subjecting us to, but it's everything when they do that to us. And so that's one of the things in terms of the action items and the things that we are going to do to help, to raise money. That's one of the things we want to do, and to be able to make a contribution for our fight. Because again, if this happens, it's the First Amendment, and you know that they'll come for us as they already are doing. I do have any of my comrades here that can help me with the call for resources. If you would like to make a donation, you can call out the amount that you would like to make. You can make the donations in installments if you have to. If somebody has $1,000 just laying around, they would like to just offer that. That would be great. I'll wait to hear that. But even if you're online, any amount that you can offer will be great. I just want to also say that on the back here right now, we have like action items that you can scan. Like you can go to handsoffufuru.org/donate. And do we have any, like I said, I'm going to put forward, I'll be the first one, walk the walk, $100 donation. Do we hear any other offers? 100. Another 100, right? Take off. Do anybody help take this down? Brother, please have anybody help take these tests, help write down the names of the people. We got Brother Faisal, 100. Brother Hungerford, Dave Hungerford. I don't have a.
Uhuru, Lisa, you have a $200 pledge from Betty Davis.
Mr. Betty Davis, hold on, let's write this down.
And Comrade Carlito's raising his hand as well.
Oh, Comrade Carlito. Okay, Carlito. Make a note. Yeah, let's make a note of the ones. So we got a bucket going around too.
Sister Lisa, $100 here.
Brother Carlito, 100. Brother Carlito, 100. Sister Betty Davis, 200.
That's a big money, eh?
Cesar Sanchez, 100. Dave Hungerford, did I see your hand? Or I thought I said something. 10. We can pass after the check. $5. $5. All right. We can put this right in here. $5. Yes. Thank you so very much.
Comrade Lisa, there's also a $100 pledge from Comrade Sarah Flounders.
Sarah Flounders, 100. Okay, we got Barry Bender. That's in your hand, go up. Okay, how much did you say?
10 now, but I'll 75. It's faded.
How much was Sarah Flounders? Did you say? 100 for Sarah. You got 10 from Barry Bender.
75. Can I say what I got out?
You got
How many did Sarah Flounders?
100. Got all this. We got 5 from Daniel. Dave, how much did you give?
75.
You gave 75. Right. And Barry Bender, you said you said you gave.
I gave 10, but I'm gonna 75.
Oh, okay, so that's 85 right there, Barry.
$20.
$20 over here. Larry Adams. 100 from Larry Adams. Okay, Larry. So you got 40 over there. I you except for rain. Yeah.
I can't keep up with that. You have to.
Oh, wow. Wow. All right. Okay, we all stepping up. Okay.
Let me count. Do you have any online? You want to count this, Lee? Or fight, or, brother?
Also, I don't know if you saw, Lisa, $100 from a Comrade Emmanuel.
Comrade Emmanuel, 100. You wanna? We got a lot of gifts asked right here. You wanna count what's in there? We're gonna be getting a little tally. Brother, if you want to read off what you have already, because we want to.
Paulito 100, Betty Davis 200, Cesar 100, Zulu $5, Sarah Flounders 100, Dave 75, Barry 75, and Emmanuel 100.
And me 100.
And you go right.
Yes.
You got yeah, right.
Well, you did five. Okay. $50 from Will. She's gonna donate it online. So you got $240 cash right here. That counts some.
These are went to the site already, and we should have went through.
Are you on?
Yeah, went to the site.
Okay, great. Don't count the cash. We have to be counting the cash over here. Don't count the cash donations. But the ones who said that they were gonna pledge something, I think 100.
Yeah, that's 955. Well, no, you gave them cash on top. So
Yeah,
that's the 950.
Oh, wow. Oh, all power to
somebody over here.
Hey.
Oh, yeah, how much?
The BJ and I. Oh, wow.
We got people carrying cars full.
We got some big money in the house. I hope when we start raising money more, and you give us $50.
Okay, so this is 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 20, 40, 60. So he just gave 250. So that's $490 in cash.
That all power to the station.
Oh, Dad. We bad.
So what's the total? What's the play?
Yeah, wait, we got 240 cash right here. And how much did we get?
Let me see, 100, 4, 5, 650, 750, 850, 950.
We got it. There she got one right there, 4,000. The sister got 7. We got it.
And that was given to
Right, this is cash.
They gave you that, so I put that in there.
Right, some ones said they were going to other ones. Oh, we got.
Right on, sister. All right. Round it up. That's 1,000. Oh, she gave her.
Huh?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's about 1,400. Yeah. Okay, that's good.
Right, right, she already put her 50 through. She put her $50 through. Some people went online and did it. Again, Nora, thank you so much. I'm gonna make sure, in fact, I will probably, I'm gonna make sure that they get this. This is cash. So, I'm sorry, but can you just tell me it's total for time? We have that's it, and they'll be getting $500. Oh, cash. Oh, cash. That's right. City cash. Somebody, oh, and yeah, that's how we roll. That's right. That's the way we do it. You know the pass after hard, cold, sweaty pass. Everyone, again, thank you so much, but I also just want to remind people, we got. Yeah.
Can you project your camera, please?
The camera went there. Oh, the camera went there. Okay, yeah, the vibrations. The vibrations. Okay, great. Again, everybody, thank you so much. We're going to get back to we got other people who want to show their solidarity, show the state. We know the state's listening. We're only getting stronger. But I also just want to remind people, please sign the petition. Go to www.handsoffofperu.org. Sign the petition, or you can scan right here. Hopefully it will work. Sometimes they work. If you want to volunteer and get text alerts, please make sure that you scan this and that you do this. And also, we want to start contacting these rotten, no good, low life, scum of the earth politicians. We want to let them know. We want to start getting a campaign going. We're going to make them deal with this case. We're going to make them hear it. And again, I want to get right back to the comrades who came out there. Thank you so very, very much to show your time, to show your solidarity. Okay, so we got 500 hard cold cash right here. 500. Okay, hold on. Thank you. So we're gonna could you, Brother Rafik, are you able to just tally this? Because I want to get the tally right. So you got $500 cash, and then the other one will are pledges. And next, we're going to continue to move right along with hearing from solidarity statements from our wonderful comrades. Let me just find my notes here. Also, this is 950. Okay. So we're going to start off with Larry Adams. I got a lot of history with the People's Organization for Progress. I cut my teeth, so to speak, in this struggle. Oh, and by the way, today is the anniversary. What anniversary is it of the Newark Rebellion? 67. 67th anniversary of the Newark Rebellion. It's right. Newark was on fire. That's right. The revolution. That's right. 7 years ago.
POP represents recognition, rebellion of the masses of people of Newark every year. Keep that history alive. To assert the right to resist, and it is a right to resist. So we raise up 26 martyrs who were murdered by the bourgeois state in the act of resistance or just being Black in Newark at the time. Come on, Larry. We bring greetings of solidarity with the movement, solidarity in support of the Uhuru 3. Because we recognize that it's not an attack on the Uhuru 3, but in fact it's an attack on the whole Black liberation movement, and it's an attack on the whole progressive movement in this country. That it is a sign of creeping fascism, in our view, that they would attack freedom of speech, other democratic rights, because they would strip us and disarm us all. And therefore it is our responsibility to stand up, to call for hands off the Uhuru 3, to support the comrades in the struggle for justice, because it's not just a struggle for them, it's a struggle for all of us. So we say hands off the Uhuru 3, justice for the freedom of speech, and build the united front against fascism. All of us who fight for democratic rights, who fight for self-determination of oppressed people, have a stake in this fight. And we need to make it as broad and as big and as strong and powerful as we possibly can. The POP stands with our comrades of the African People's Socialist Party Black is Back, the Uhuru movement, the Uhuru movement rather. And we salute their work.
Uhuru.
Uhuru.
Prophets Uhuru. Next. No. The Black Alliance for Peace, JP, our brother JP with the Black Alliance for Peace. We are just so honored to be working so closely with the Black Alliance for Peace. They bring the fire, and if you are not familiar, huh? No, my bad. All right, and if you're not familiar with them yet, please go to their organization, go to their website. They have such powerful information. Brother JP, woo, 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 Black Alliance for Peace. All right.
Greetings, comrades.
Greetings.
The last time I was here, I was sitting in one of those seats that you're sitting in right now, and I was listening to Chairman Yeshitela speak. And that night, the chairman shared one small detail that has stuck with me until now. I think about it multiple times every week. It was such a small, seemingly insignificant detail that it's almost absurd and obscene to mention it in the same breath as big, violent, death-dealing systems like capitalism, colonialism, and imperialism. Chairman Yeshitela mentioned that when the FBI raided his home in the early morning of that July 29th, he remembered that it was a Friday. And do you know why he remembered it was a Friday? He said he remembered it was a Friday because it was back and bicep day at the gym. Chairman Yeshitela, I want you to know that has stuck with me until this day. Also, I might have to get that revolutionary workout program off of you at some point. We'll talk about that at some point. The more I thought about it, though, it's not obscene nor is it absurd to mention this small detail about going to the gym in the same breath as capitalism, colonialism, and imperialism. They are very much connected. As African people in Kenya, in Niger, in Burkina Faso, in Mali, in Congo, in Sudan, in Cuba, in Palestine, in Haiti, in Puerto Rico, in Colombia, in Peru, in Louisiana, in Atlanta, in Newark, we, like Chairman Yeshitela, have our own life rhythms. We have our own life rhythms. African peoples want to live our lives in peace. Yes. African peoples want to lead peaceful, healthy, and full lives. African peoples want full lives where we get to discover who we are and what we can be. White supremacy, capitalism, colonialism, neo-colonialism, imperialism, patriarchy, these aren't just big words that we throw around to make ourselves sound smart or to hear ourselves talk. They are destructive systems that disrupt our life rhythms and destroy our lives. That's right. I want to say that again. White supremacy, capitalism, colonialism, as Chairman Yeshitela has emphasized, neo-colonialism and imperialism are destructive systems that disrupt our life rhythms and destroy our lives. And these systems require war to maintain them. They are opposed to peace. They are opposed to peace. We must stand against them. We must speak out against them. And this is why, as an organization that is seeking to recapture and redevelop the historic anti-war, anti-imperialist, and pro-peace positions of the radical Black movement, the Black Alliance for Peace unequivocally, like we did the day after the raid on the July 29th raid, the Black Alliance for Peace continues to unequivocally condemn and oppose the indictment of those who speak out against the bloodthirsty, warmongering intentions of the ruling class. That's right. We unequivocally condemn and oppose the indictment of the Uhuru Three. And so we join the chorus in saying, hands off Uhuru. And we also say, as we do in BAP, no compromise, no retreat. That's right. Thank you.
1 minute. 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 Uhuru, thank you so much for our comrades with the Black Alliance for Peace. We stand with you. You're doing tremendous work. Tremendous work. Our next comrade, and we thank everybody for being so patient. And this is not in any particular order. You guys are all super important to us. So I just want to be clear about that. We're going to hear from Sister Betty Davis with the New Abolitionist Movement. And we're not related, but we're kind of related. We got the same heart. We got the same heart. We got the same love. Sister Comrade Betty Davis. And again, Comrade, give 2 minutes, everybody. Uhuru!
Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
I'm still fighting on how to get my camera up on my computer. I can do it with my cell, but I wanted to have a better view of everybody in the room. I want to salute everyone who was on this call. It's a pleasure to see some of you that I haven't seen for a while. I just want to start off by saying, let your motto be resistance.
Yes.
Resistance. Resistance. No oppressed people have ever secured their liberty without resistance. What kind of resistance you had better make, you must decide by the circumstances that surround you and according to the suggestion of expediency. Brethren, labor for the peace of the human race, and remember that you are, at this time, there were 4 million Africans in America. Though many of you who know your history, you know that was our Henry Highland Garnet. And one of the things he made clear was, I like the way Malcolm paraphrased it, by any means necessary. So you are here tonight because it is absolutely necessary that we pick up the call of Henry Highland Garnet and let our motto be resistance. I'm going to repeat what Ralph Pointer said. He said, I don't care if the Russians did pay Yeshitela. Says, I'm here, wish the Russians would give me some money so I could wage war. Pay me, Russia, please. Somebody pay me for all these years of slavery and work and struggle for freedom, and we're still not free. Words of Ralph Pointer, or a paraphrase. And so I want to say to you today, let's pick up the work. That was the last words that brother said to me. He says, pick up the work. It's on you now. And that $200, one will always be for him. Whatever I give, double it, it's always for him and us. I will always act as though he's here still doing his work too. And so I'm asking you tonight, what part of this struggle don't you understand? You heard Chairman Yeshitela talk about the infant mortality rate. Well, the African People's Socialist Party came up with a solution. They didn't just talk it, they didn't just pray over it, they did something about it. You heard him talk about the issue of children and housing. Well, they didn't just go to church and say, oh, Lordy, what we gonna do? The African People's Socialist Party did something about it. You heard them talk about, well, if they haven't, I'm going to talk about it, because I think this is what really got them in trouble. Their electoral school. Oh, maybe you didn't mention it. Well, I'm going to mention it. An electoral school. Obviously, people who are Black in this country need some kind of school. If you look at the clowns that they have selected for us to elect who are Black, pay attention and Google the Black mayors in this country. You need an electoral school, and you need it badly. And they have successfully been involved in helping candidates, not just for the Senate, but on all levels. And right now, we're going to sit on our hands. Sister Lisa let you know that. We're going to sit on our hands, but we're going to pay close attention to these jokers who are elected as governors. We're going to pay close attention to these jokers who are elected as judges. And you damn well better pay attention to who's being elected for your public local school boards. And of course, you got to do something about the city council. So I'm here to say, this is easy. This is easy. Because if you're like me,
What else are you gonna do with your time? You're angry. I'm angry. Everybody's angry. Well, let's do something about it. The workers are angry. The people who are houseless are angry. The people whose hospitals are closed are angry. The people whose child committed suicide, and the suicide rate for our children in this country is escalated since 1970. So all we are asking in the Black is Back Coalition is be a grown-up. Where are the grown-ups? We've got a problem. Let's do something about it. And it's easy to support Chairman Omali Yeshitela because he stands for what he says he stands for. And so I'm not going to take up much more of your time. I know that the people that are here on this Zoom today are my honorable comrades, and they know what to do. They've done it before. I know most of these people on this call helped us free Sister Lynn Stewart. I know Penny Hess is one of the first to invite her to speak. I know Chairman Omali Yeshitela said she committed one of the biggest crimes. She committed race suicide. He jumped right in there with the fight to help free her. So now he needs us. Let's pay back. Let's pay back a warrior. Thank you.
Thank you so much. On Wednesday, and her show comes on Wednesdays on WPAI at 8 o'clock p.m. So you got to listen to Sister Betty Davis for sure. I just want to say, do we have our representatives from the North Water Coalition, Muta and Ravin, are they here? Okay, maybe they were not able to come. There were other people who indicated that they wanted to come, but they were not able to be here. Sister Hafsa with the American Muslim Association is one of them. We have Brother Ali. Ali, is he here? New Jersey Care. I know that they had indicated that they were hoping that they could come. Did somebody say something? David?
Yeah, I'd just like to very briefly offer the observation that all of these problems that we're talking about tonight, more, they're all due to the, not to the failure of capitalism, but to the development of capitalism. That, that crisis of overproduction that Marx talks about in the Communist Manifesto, as the forces of production develop, and those contradictions don't go away, they get worse. And they're underlying all of the problems we're talking about.
Dave, you want to just hold that 1 second? I don't mean to touch it. I just want to, there's a couple of more people might be here. And then we're going to briefly just say a little bit about what I'm going through. And then we can maybe have some Q&A. Then I don't mean to cut you off or anything. But do we have Forrest Nance here from Grown Folks Talking? All right. And then we're going to close with Sister, I was about to say Sarah Jessica Parker, Sarah Clown. I'm sorry, Ross. I'm about to take it way off into some other place. But let me just make sure we have everybody. Brother Forrest, you want to come up here? Forrest Nancy does Grown Folks Talking. He has just, he's another firebrand, just supported like anything. Chairman,
let me say that I can say this.
Are you sure? Because they can't see you.
Yes, we need people to come to the podium so that we can see you.
At the podium so they can see you in the camera. Right. Yeah. This brother, he does Grown Folks Talking. He's always and I can call him anytime. He's like, I'm there, and you know it, and he delivers. Yes, we want to see your wonderful, beautiful face.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Yes. I'll just, you can get behind the podium so we can make sure there's a camera can see you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes.
Right here, I just want to make sure. Oh, yeah, right behind you. That's good, right? You all can see him?
Thanks.
Yeah, that's good.
Well, first of all, I'd just like to say, thank you for Sister Lisa Davis inviting me tonight. I appreciate her coming. And I appreciate coming, I should say. And I'd like to say, I'd like to thank Brother Kai, all right, for this edifice that he gave to us this evening for us to hold this event. All right, my name is Forrest Nance, and I represent a network called the Grown Folks Talk and Express Yourself Progressive Podcast Network. I've been on air now for about, I'll say the last 4 years. Okay, and the purpose of me starting my network, all right, because now I have 27 shows on my network, Monday through Sunday. And the purpose of starting the network was to empower and to share, because in the words of some of the people who have been on my podcast, it's therapeutic for them. And I'm glad to give information as well as receive it. So I would just like to say that I had the fortune of meeting Brother Omali when he came out to the Source of Knowledge on Broad Street. And I shook his hand, he was selling his books. I think it was Reparations, 1980, 82, 85, somewhere around there. But I supported the brother. And I said to myself, I said, how could this brother remember me? So 12 years I've been plant-based now. And the reason I've been plant-based is because I'm 67 years of age. I'm not under any medications, all right? But what happened was I got diagnosed, I don't own it, with glaucoma back in '93. And I fall under the umbrella of visually impaired. That doesn't stop me from being active, because as the sister said last time I saw Sister Lisa Davis, we were at City Hall. And my assistant at the time took the little video clip. Anyway, getting back to the podcast, I know Sister Christina's here. She'll be on my show this evening. Peace and blessings to her. And once again, peace and blessings to the audience. And I'm going to reach out to the brother who spoke from the Alliance. I got the brother Shaka, you can tell he's a fiery brother. I'm going to have him come on, all right? And I do have the podcast number. I have a variety of shows. I've been blessed to have Brother Omali on my show. He came in January, all right? And we need the support, of course, for Road 3. And I just want to let Lisa know, I went to Whole Foods, I left, and I ran and dropped the money on the dresser, forgot to bring it in. But sister, you know, I'm cash out. I'm about business. And when I say I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it. It's a $50 place, so you can put that down. I didn't know you got a turn. So I'm donating, I'm gonna give $50 for our dear brother Omali. So hopefully this will buy his justice, and we have to do what we have to do, because we have to support each other. So with that being said, if anybody would care to come see me, and if you need me, because trust me, I have some very interesting shows, all right, and podcasts. Just come see me. I'll give you a card. Tune in. Now, if you got T-Mobile, unfortunately, I only charge a penny a minute. You know, so we can show you how to come on for free. You can text this number, call me, and you come right into the show. So my sister Christina will be on tomorrow. I've had Lisa on my show several times. Okay, so I'm looking to get some new voices up there, because we need to hear from each and every one. They call me the connector. All right, and at one time, I'm gonna end by saying this: I was born and raised in Newark. Okay, and there was a time that I promoted in this area, and my vision was clear. And the reason.
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna wrap it up.
Because I know we would like to be out here by 9:30.
Okay. August the 10th, Brother Ron is giving out the flyers. We're giving a dis-ease prevention convention and health forum. All right, it's gonna be at the Salvation Army Gymnasium. And make sure you get a flyer, family, because as you know, a lot of our people are eating very bad in our community. And now they're talking about the second wave of COVID. Now they're trying to blame it on the birds. So if I were you, please, it's a donation event. There's no tickets involved. All right, you put whatever you want, and that will occur. That'll be an offset for the next disease convention that we'll have for the community. So the community base and the educators, and we'll have plenty of healthy vendors. No meat is going to be served. I ain't telling nobody how to eat, but there's plenty of good vegan food. Y'all familiar with Blueberry Cafe? That we have the roster positive from Brother Jensen. We got Brother Rojo in Brooklyn with the alkaline food, Brother Rashad Alameen, all in the name. You might know some of the people that are speaking. So peace and blessings to the family. Thank you for this time.
Thank you so very much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I just want to make sure we got everybody. We got our 2 more members of the Green Party. We have Sister Sarah Flounder. So Barry and Lily, come on up. They have been so supportive with everything. And then Sister Sarah Brown, in terms of, you want to call this out, in terms of, people making statements and showing support to the chairman. And I just have to say, this is another sister right here. Her and I, we running buddies. She called me, Lisa, I know you're gonna go there, right? I'm like, okay. So, she's a wonderful comrade. It's been so great getting to know you. Thank you.
Okay, 2 minutes. I don't know what to say after everybody talked. Oh my God, yeah. I have to think what. Anyways, we as me as individual and we as part of the Green Party always support the hands of Uhuru movement and African liberation. And me as an immigrant and Latina, we obviously have this connection with the colonialism and imperialism and everything that they have done to our countries, to our people. And we need to work together. We need to be together on this. We need to keep the movement going together because we have gone through the same struggles. We have been invaded and robbed and taken our lands and resources and our people, and it's the same as Palestine. I identify with them a lot because it is the same thing. We know how many people have died there. If I could tell you how many people were killed in Colombia, has been killed in Colombia, leaders and farmers for taking their lands, for foreign companies coming, the mining companies and companies extracting the gold and the water and everything that they can, right? So we are basically on the same struggle, and that's why I support this movement, and I really hope that we can, start doing things together as comrades. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
I consider myself very lucky. My name's Barry. Used to be a co-chair. I was elected chair. But last year I went on a bus ride with my friend Lisa, and we went to Washington, D.C. on the bus. And I got to speak there, and I got to meet, I believe it was his birthday, chairman, when we were in Washington, D.C., and I got to meet the chairman in person, and the impression was like, it was like, there's very few people that I still put up on pedestals. There's one person that I put up on a pedestal, is the chairman, because he's unbelievable. But he was talking about how bad your choices are this year. And I just wanted to point out, this year in New Jersey, you did a lot of hard work. You have 4 candidates in the room right here, right now, running for Congress and for Senate. It's Green Party. I'm running in Congressional District 4. Lily is in Congressional District 11. John is here in Newark in Congressional District 10. And of course, we have our Senate candidate, Christina. But every congressional district here in New Jersey has a Green Party candidate this year. We're working very hard to get our presidential candidate. Many of you may know Jill Stein. We're working to get her on the ballot this year. We have petitions here if anyone is interested in signing a petition to get her on the ballot. But we're giving you another choice, and the Green Party is the party of peace. We like to also refer to ourselves as the anti-genocide party. What's going on in the world now is frightening. I have 2 children. I have twins. And there are days when I question my sanity in bringing children into the world the way it is now. But we're going to continue to fight with the chairman and get rid of the colonialism, I won't even say fascism, because we've been living with fascism for a long time. But we need to straighten things out so that the next generation, young people, like the gentleman I met you in Newark one time when we were in front of the building. These are the people that are going to lead the way, and I'm very proud that you're here today, and I'm very proud to meet you all. So thank you very much.
Okay, here I have some sign-up cards from American Muslim for Palestine, AMP. You just have to fill it out and send it to your representative.
I'll make sure to fill one of those out too.
one tiny place, remember something. We have kids, we have grandkids or nieces or nephews, and we have something even more dangerous than the freedom of speech is the trafficking. It's the mandatory trafficking that they're going to start.
right.
We don't know
Oh,
when,
yeah.
it's not at the front, it's under Biden, but it will be the same thing, it will be the same thing. So we have to be careful with that because they're going to take our kids.
I definitely have to watch out for that. And now, Sister Sarah Flounders, I think it will be with you to close us out. Did I get everybody here who came here to say something? I know that Dave, and after Sarah Flounders closes out, then we can take questions. I'll just tell a little bit about what's going on with me and Dave. I know you've been talking about that for a moment. So, Sister Sarah Flounders, are you still with us?
Yeah, I'm right here.
Okay, great.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. And
I'm speaking. It's kind of dark behind, so I don't know if you can. I have the camera on, but
we can see somewhat.
It's so righteous that. Okay, it's so righteous that this meeting is on the anniversary of the 1967 Newark uprising against racism. So appropriate and righteous. Let me start by saying free the Uhuru 3 and say it again. I will be there in Florida. I want to really thank Lisa Davis for putting together this incredible meeting and make a special greeting to Chairman Omali Yeshitela and also to Jason Newell and Penny Hess for standing up to these outrageous, criminal, ridiculous, fraudulent charges. From the very first day of these arrests, and I want to say this from Workers' World Party, we made the demand to drop the charges, to issue the petitions, the statements, to get the whole movement to say, we got to answer this right away. Can't go down, can't be allowed to happen. Chairman Omali Yeshitela is known for 50 years. This is not, he's a lifelong revolutionary. This didn't just come out of the blue. The charge was so absolutely ridiculous that it was hard to even take seriously in the beginning. A Russian agent? I mean, I can't even picture. This is someone who has fought against every US war and especially the war right here at home. So I will just also say that and congratulate the whole way in which the African People's Socialist Party has conducted this campaign, because you've turned the charges against them and the whole political movement, if they didn't know before, knows the African People's Socialist Party. It is a rock that's dropped on their foot. In this period, the Palestinian people have shown that resistance is the only way forward. The only way. And the flimsy efforts to shut down the movements against US wars and criminal decay of this imperialist dying system, it won't succeed. There are actually hundreds of people facing charges at this point for defending and supporting the Palestinian struggle. Those who were arrested at the encampments and sit-ins and shutdowns, all kinds of actions. And I'll tell you, every one of those cases will be fought as this case is being fought tooth and nail. It's a lesson people need to know. If you have a movement, you got to defend it every step. And you got to defend the people who've really put themselves, their life on the line. So it's about defending the right to resist. And I want to extend my total and complete support and the full and complete support of Workers' World Party, International Action Center. I'm part of the United National Anti-War Coalition, the Resist NATO Coalition, and in every one of these forums, we have raised the Uhuru 3 and the importance of defending them and making sure we're in the court, we're signing the petitions, we're making the donations. All power to the people united will not be defeated. Free the Uhuru 3.
Free the Uhuru 3. Also, do we have How about, one of our representatives from NPW? I also just want to say, I want to thank Brother, Bakra, who was not able to be here, but he worked very hard with organizing this as well with the African People's Socialist Party. I want to close out and I want to definitely thank NPW forces. And I just want to close out with saying this. I will get more information about this. That South Orange, New Jersey is coming after me literally because I attended a pro-Palestine vigil, and an unhinged Zionist came running after us screaming, Sister Lily was there, and so was Barry Binder, and he comes running up to us screaming. And so I'm just standing there and I'm trying to defuse it, and I just say, we don't have to engage in this person, but I guess maybe I was doing a little reckless eyeballing because you're not supposed to do that evidently. But they're coming after me. They're sitting up there and just manufacturing a lie. They're coming after me because they said I held a special event without getting a permit. I didn't organize this. I just attended it. And then the beast officer, Ryan Naturell, I believe is what his name is, he subsequently puts in the police report, which I got after that kangaroo court hearing that they had for me on the 18th. But he puts in the police report himself that you don't need a permit to march in South Orange. So why are they coming after me? I guess because I was just standing there. That became a special event. We are fighting this. We are not backing off at all. This is just representative of New Jersey and what it has always been to be Black in this state. I mean, I've had so many other horrible encounters, but I'm just saying we are standing up strong. We are not fighting back. And how dare South Orange, it says the state of New Jersey is coming after me. I'm gonna hold the state of New Jersey completely accountable for that bogus BS garbage, which is on video. I'm not sending the video around to everybody. It's on video. And that the municipal prosecutor of South Orange is coming after me. Why would he take a stupid case such as this? And he also happens to be Black, so much for that, right? I can't even think of his name, the county prosecutor. But anyway, we're not afraid. I'm just letting you all know because you guys know I'm gonna be calling all and y'all. I mean, come. But it's just so outrageous. And it just goes to show another thing. Brother Carl, we want to thank you so much. Dave Underwood, did you have a question? I know you were saying something. Somebody's calling me.
Lisa, tell them what you want them to do.
So I'm going to be sending stuff around. I got a petition going on. I got everybody's email. I'm going to be emailing, and I'm going to be writing an update too about this. Contact them, let them know how unscrupulous they are. And we have a petition going on. I will be sending everybody that petition information. Dave, you were saying something?
We see, yes, we're looking at this comprehensive economic crisis around, we're looking, everybody's getting killed with too much mortgage debt, right? So much student debt, medical costs are murder, and the most dangerous thing you can do is go to the doctor because you do all these injections and God knows what. So we need to program of I think we need an independent workers' party or constitutional workers' party to be addressing all these issues and look into the economic roots of them. It's very surprising sometimes, very terrible. There's practical ways of control.
Also, I just want to say, Brother Malik and Pidam, if you guys want to just close this thing out real quickly. Anybody? Thank you so much, Monica. Thank you, everybody, for coming. Thank you. You want to close it out? We still on. And thank you, of course, the chairman and everybody in St. Louis from where you dialed in from. Thank you so much. Brother Malik.
Everybody. Sister Lisa. Good program, Sister Lisa.
Everybody, thank you so much. We appreciate all those online who are talking. We appreciate you so much. You want to say something?
Yeah, I think that we're thinking about various ways of practicing reforms, right? Things like mortgage principles, relief for student debt relief. And so forth.
Anyway, we can, I guess we can end this one and just close this out real quickly. Uhuru. Since we can't.
Lisa, yes, Uhuru.
Uhuru.
Yes, we want to remind everyone about August 31st, St. Petersburg, Florida. I'm getting an echo, so I don't know if someone else.
Everybody can hold on a minute. You're getting an echo?
Yeah, you're all. Yeah, okay.
Yes, just to remind everyone to be in St. Petersburg, Florida, August 31st. That is just a few days before the trial. Please go to handsoffuhuru.org. Let us know that you're going to be there. We want every bus, every car, every scooter, however it is you've got to get there. We want everyone in St. Petersburg, Florida on August 31st. And also want to remind people of the 15th annual Black is Back Coalition conference is happening in the month of August. But the place to be on August 31st is in St. Petersburg, Florida. Uhuru.
Also, I just want to say, we collected $500 cash, $500 hard cash. I tried to donate that from my own account, the $500 to the donation, link, this weekend. I'll just talk with you about double checking to make sure that it got there. Because I was looking for, must be something going on with my email. But I did try to, donate from my bank, was $500 cash that we collected. And we have, hold on a moment. Right, we can get.
I'll get that from you later, Sister Lisa.
Okay. Right, we got about $800 in donation. So we collected $500 on cash. Okay, so I guess, it's over. Right. Right. Okay, everybody, again, thank you so very much.
Thank you.
So thank you everybody for attending. So I guess it's over. Uhuru! 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 No, and New York is in the house. Uhuru! I will talk with you later, Sister Kenge.
Uhuru.
Yeah.